This violin has been played on some of the world's most prestigious stages, including Carnegie Hall. And I'm about to meet the man who made it. Here in New York City, Lukas Wronski makes award-winning, exquisitely crafted violins. With a master's degree in violin making, he immigrated here from Poland 10 years ago. He wanted to see his violins played on the world's greatest stages. Today, he handcrafts violins for professional musicians all around the globe.
There's something old to the sound. There's something antique and something special, personal to the sound. This is a wonderful violin and I feel very lucky to play it. It makes my life better.
Have you been playing very long?
I've been playing the violin since I was 8. And then I was 13 when I made my first violin. To be a violin maker is not only, of course, to be a great craftsman. You have to have a great ear, you have to be a musician, you have to be an artist, you have to have a lot of different skills.
Lukas definitely has a lot of skills, and one of them is creating modern carvings on the violin that give each instrument its own personality. That's the most unique violin I've ever seen in my life, just so you know.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of rock and roll in there too, which I love.
This violin is inspired of the most famous Statue of Liberty, which is symbol of peace and tolerance. So the most important thing, we have to find the best wood.
Every piece of wood must be seasoned before it's ready to become a violin. When you say seasoned wood, what do you mean?
At least 6 years after it cuts has to be stored, aged. I have many pieces here, like this one. This is maybe at least 80 years old.
Lukas uses 2 types of wood for his instruments. Maple, a stronger wood that goes on the back, sides, and scroll to hold the tension, and lightweight spruce for the top. Lukas uses a plane to smooth the wood he chooses for a new violin. Then he glues the maple pieces together to create the back.
Now after we glue the piece together, we have to make it even by planing the...
We're gonna plane.
Yeah. We have to use some tool. Go ahead. Yeah. Wow. Now we have to grab the actual shape pattern of the violin.
Okay.
So now what we have to do, we have to cut it. We have to cut the shape. We have to right now take care of the curvature here of the violin. You have to do this arching, you know. Has its special measurements, of course, special thicknesses.
Have you just been doing it so long that you can just look at it and about tell?
Basically, yes. There's a little plane. This is the huge one. This is a little one.
Okay. Baby plane.
So we want to make it nice arch. We have to run the wood out. Okay? Now we have to check how thick it is, because the violin has to be
Oh my God!
has to be strong, but also has to be a little bit flexible in order to vibrate. A very incredible process is to make this ribs.
Ribs to the violin.
Sides, ribs to side.
Okay.
Yes, and this is the piece of wood which we use. It's also maple. You can see it's very thin. And now you can see this is the bending iron. It's very hot. And now we have to do here.
Lukas clamps and then glues 6 bent strips to a temporary wooden mold of the violin. Using a very sharp saw, Lukas carefully cuts the F shape out of the top of the violin. Without this, the sound of the violin would not come out.
By knife, we will have to make it more even, more beautiful. Now we want to put together, okay?
Lukas uses old Italian recipes for varnish made from linseed oil. He adds natural plant pigment for color.
Sometimes varnishing, it may take even 2 weeks or more.
The top, or scroll of the violin, is not responsible for the sound, so Lukas can show his artistic side here.
This is the Native American. And here, turquoise inlay, and of course an eagle here.
There's an eagle. Do you see it? An eye of the eagle on the back as well. You are a true artist. It takes 2 months to make a violin, and they start at $25,000. At the end of our day, Lukas shows me what he believes is the most important part of the violin.
We call it sound post.
A sound post, okay?
It is like the soul of the violin. You can hold it and you can feel this energy.
The sound post is wedged between the top and back plate. It transmits the sound of the strings and the bridge to the rest of the violin.
And now I demonstrate a little bit different adjustment, so you can maybe see a little bit different sound.
Yep.
More close,
I hear
maybe?
it. Yeah, I hear it.
The most incredible feeling is when you hear it. It's like when you see your art actually on the stage.
I think it sings now.
Violins that look cool and sound even cooler.